remember they had that teen takeover in the SouthLoop of Chicago. And Mayor Brandon Johnson, he decided to respond. I guess he got mad at the reporter. So we'll take a listen to this.
Also at 4:30, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson opening up on everything from the migrant crisis to teen takeovers.
Since he took office in May, he hasn't fielded questions from reporters very often. Among those asking them today, CBS 2 political investigator Dana Kozlov. And Dana, Mayor Johnson spent about an hour talking with the press.
Yeah, Jim and Marie, and the most recent incident of teenagers and young adults converging and overwhelming in one area of the city was a big topic of conversation. It just happened this past weekend, and in that instance, they caused a lot of damage. The mayor responded this way, though, when someone characterized it as mob action.
That's not appropriate. We're not talking about mob actions. I didn't say that. Hold on a second, okay? Respectfully, these large gatherings just.
What is wrong with this guy? These large gatherings. No, gatherings is like, oh, we're sharing food. Girl, you cook that potato salad. Oh, you cook some baked beans. That's gatherings. Gatherings where you're not fighting each other. You sitting around, you're eating, you're playing cards maybe. They got a DJ. It's like a barbecue, right? Gatherings. It's so sensitive about his badass teenagers that's in his city, that's driving your taxpayers away. The teen takeover is literally taking over the city, and they're bad. They're demon kids. And why is he so sensitive about that? And he's afraid to admit that they're demon kids. To me, it's really ridiculous. And then you get mad at people when they call a spade a spade. This is what I see. And you want them to see something different. But the kids' actions show something different.
Just hold on a second, y'all. I promise you, we have time to talk. It's important that we speak of these dynamics in an appropriate way. This is not to obfuscate what is actually taking place.
This was the scene near Roosevelt and Canal Sunday night. Groups looted a convenience store. More than 36 teenagers.
Large gatherings. Let me go back. When they arrested 40 kids or 40 teenagers, a couple of adults over the age of 18, 40 of them. 2 of them had handguns, and one of the handgun owner illegally had a silencer on it. He had a silencer on his gun. You're trying to say these kids are not criminals, but they exhibit all the actions of criminals.
Were arrested along with a 12-year-old and at least one 20-year-old. Store owners say it was the second such incident in that area in just the past few weeks. And today, Mayor Johnson commended Chicago police for the way they handled it.
To the best of their ability, I believe that they attempted to engage with our young people, with community partners, giving as much warning as they possibly could. And, unfortunately, arrests, were made, and unfortunately, some damage was caused. And the level of sensitivity and patience that our officers expressed, I'm appreciative of that.
Mayor Johnson, he say he has little kids, but I'm pretty sure his kid is going to run all over him. Men, you can't be sensitive with boys. They don't respond to sensitivity. I'm sorry. You need to lay down the law. I mean, am I wrong for saying this? Oh, they handle this with sensitivity, and these dudes got silencers on their guns. We're not roasting marshmallows. They didn't get mad because they didn't have enough s'mores at the camp out. These little Negroes came to the store and tore up the store, started fighting each other, spraying fire extinguishers, defacing property, and then a couple of kids had guns on them. One with the silencer. I know I keep on repeating that, but to me, it's unheard of. Where do you get a silencer from? And he's saying, I appreciate the police officers handling it with sensitivity. That's the kid's problem. Number one, your kids need guidance, strict guidance. And then you're talking about boys. So they don't have any guidance, number one, because they're out there. So, but you're saying they need to be sensitive. Let me know in the chat. Do men needs to be sensitive? Randy, you said, speak for yourself, Chawanne. Only had to raise my voice at my son twice. He's 16. Look, Randy, you laid the groundwork. You don't have to raise your voice when you are there as a parent from the start. They already know. I tend to raise my voice at my kids more than my husband. My kids, I got a 7 and a 9-year-old boys. When they dad come in, they act like a whole different person. they like, okay, not a word, not a peep. They don't back talk. They don't really back talk me either, but they do it. My husband has to say it one time. But he already laid the groundwork saying, okay, this is the law and you have to abide by this law. So, but if you coming in at 16, Randy, come on now. If you didn't have no relationship at 16, you think that your son gonna listen to you? Probably not. But you got to lay down the groundwork. Now, we're talking about kids that don't have any foundation. They're already criminals. So what are you going to do? Be sensitive to them? And one got a silencer. I know I keep on going back to the silencer, but one had a silencer. He had a gun with a silencer. Do you guys don't think that's just on the crazy side? Of all things, of all the weapons you can have, you have a gun with a silencer. Robert said these kids need to be treated the same way they treat you. Right. And it's so sad because the night before, well, a couple of days ago when I was talking about this, the night before, some of the kids got rowdy. They gathered up at the movie place. It's like down the street from where they did all the damage. So they gathered up at the movie place. The security guard tried to stop them from going in. I don't know if he got in a tussle with them, but subsequently, he either had a heart attack or whatever, because he was 70. I think they say he was 72. He ended up dying. The guy died the night before, down a block down the street from where this 7-Eleven or whatever gas station is. Probably the same teenagers. And they trying to say, oh, we're still looking into it. And then you got Brandon Johnson talking about sensitivity. Oh, we need to go to sensitivity training. No, you got demon ass kids in your city. And they cause all these problems and they don't have any repercussions when they cause these problems. So they go out and do it again. They do it every single weekend. What is he talking about? Being sensitive. I mean, are we saying that, okay, just because these kids, they don't have any home structure or whatever type of home environment, you just going to let them do whatever because you feel sorry for them? Oh, they don't have a good mommy and daddy. We just going to let them do whatever. No, that's unacceptable. So what about the people that are trying to obey the law and are trying to be a productive member of society? To hell with them? So it doesn't make any sense that Brandon Johnson and his progressiveness thank the police for being sensitive. Like, that's some bullshit. And that's why the city is the way it is now.